All right, so it's Blocked Entertainment, and my man Kannon made a trip from Ithaca. You
It's
know,
popping.
we got Denzel on the return finally.
Of course.
So how's the trip?
The trip was nice and light. Got here about an hour. Straightforward. You know, there's not many cars on the road. Can't complain.
Hell yeah.
How's y'all day go?
You know, not bad. Worrying about setting up here, bugging out because the internet wasn't working, but
Shit.
figured everything out.
Systems are a go right now.
That's a fact.
That's the important part.
That's a fact. You know what? Let me turn this up in case something happens. Because we got the air horn. We got everything on that. I love this thing. But, so you got a project coming out in October.
Absolutely.
So take me through like your, can you take me through like your writing process? Because when I was listening, like you use a lot of punchlines. You use a lot of like name references. Do you listen to the beat first?
Yeah.
What do you do? Like how do you?
Yeah, absolutely. So typically, my writing process is pretty standard and routine. I make sure that just about every day I throw on the headphones and work on music in some type of way. If I have beats available, I just put them on loops until I have something. Like typically when I get a beat pack, it'll be in 10, 12, 15 beats at a time. So I just go through it until I find the beat I want to write to. I don't listen to another beat until I've written to that beat. And it typically takes about an hour or two of sitting down, working on it intensively. Sometimes it takes significantly longer. Sometimes it can even take less. It just depends on what I'm going for. But I definitely listen to the beat first. That's typically what inspires me.
You sound like us on Mary Street.
Oh, man.
Like 15 years or 10, 15 years ago, just we would just play the beat on loop. Like you would just hear the same beat for 8 hours.
Oh, man.
And we're all just writing verses to it in a hot, cramped ass fucking bedroom.
Shit, it sounds like that Dreamville album. That's probably what they was doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But so how long have you been working with Frost Gamble?
I've been working with Frost Gamble since probably 2019, 2020. There's a rapper named Tone Chop.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Tone.
Shout out Tone Chop, Binghamton legend. He put Frost Gamble onto my music. You know, they're constant collaborators.
Yeah,
they
that's
go
a
way
fact.
back. Frost was looking for new MCs to work with. Chop mentioned my name. Frost introduced himself. Like, I still haven't met him to this day, but we've been talking online for years. He started sending me beats. The first album I ever actually recorded myself in my bedroom in my home studio was called Freedom of a Slave. That dropped last year. It's an album that me and Frost Gamble recorded in 2020, sat on it for a couple years, put it out last year. This album that's coming out, Cautionary Tales, October 20th, this is not Freedom of a Slave Part 2 or anything, but it's the follow-up project. The natural progression and evolution just with working with Frost Gamble. He's great. Can't have enough nice things to say about bro.
That's dope. That's dope. It seems like the beats like just match your vibe too, honestly. Like
Yeah.
you guys are like a really good partnership.
Thank
Seems
you.
like.
I appreciate that, dog. He has a really good ear. No, he's older, and he's been around the block. He's been around the game for a long time. He has a really good ear for samples. He knows my style, and he knows the type of artists that I listen to just as fans. And so he does a great job of testing me while also helping me feel comfortable and familiar enough to just keep delving in on the niche lane that I'm trying to carve
Yeah,
out.
no, that's a fact. That's a fact. I like that.
So how did you get linked up with Tone Chop?
Tone Chop, that's a good question. I actually don't know. Like, I was a fan of him and his music. I don't know when he became a fan of my music. I just always was trying to tap more into the local scene as a younger artist. You know, I've been rapping for a long time. I probably got acclimated with Tone Chop. I started coming to Binghamton a lot to work with an artist named Mr. Focus when I was around
I know
when I was
Focus.
around like 18 years old. And so that's when I started getting really tapped into the Binghamton scene. I learned about dozens of artists at that point. So that's when I got familiar with Tone Chop. I think just through mutual respect of each other's raps, we became close. He actually popped out to a show that we did in Binghamton at Stellar Human.
Yeah, I remember he was there.
That's the first
'Cause
time.
I was there.
That's the first time I met him. He popped out to say what's up, and it was great. He's a phenomenal rapper, and a lot of folks don't know, but he's a great producer too.
Yeah, he is.
That is a fact.
Before we ever made a track, he sent me a bunch of beats. Never dropped any songs on a Tone Chop joint, but we have plenty of collabs out now.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nah, he co-signed this podcast. He was he wanted to get on. We just haven't set it up yet, you know what I mean? With the
Yeah.
kids and everything, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
nah,
y'all
that's
be
what
able to
that
get
he's a good dude.
It'll be a dope episode for
Hey,
sure.
what?
That's a
He got a
fact.
lot to say, a lot of stories, a lot of games.
dude.
That's definitely
Yeah.
one y'all gotta get in the bag.
That's a fact.
I say he's one of them people that if you get on the phone with, you might be on the phone for like an hour.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Very genuine though.
That's a fact. Also,
That's very true.
God, how long ago was that Stellar Human show? I might actually have like a video of you performing.
I think that was November 22.
Yeah, I
think
think
that was the
I
end
gotta
of
find the
last year.
memory card, but I think I have a video of you performing.
Well, if you got it and you find it, send it my way.
I'll look through
Love
them
to
all.
throw that in the archive.
Got you.
Respect.
I got you. So, I'm gonna run Pitfalls real quick.
I got
if you
you.
want. That's like, is that like, would you consider that your lead single off the new?
It was a
new album?
It was the debut single off of the project. Definitely would call it the lead single. Never really had lead singles from an album. I'm the type to just put out a project. So it's nice to have those. Pitfalls, I think, represents the sound of the project very, very well. It's the intro.
Yeah, no,
This will
it's
be the
fire
first song
too.
you listen to from the album when it drops.
So before we start, did Frost Gamble, was he responsible for the production on this album?
Completely. He
100%?
he
Yeah.
produced the entire project, as well as he did the final mixing and mastering on it as well.
Both of them, Ant Kannon and Frost Gamble.
Yeah, but that doesn't say produced by. How am I supposed to know by that?
That's true. That's true.
Does he do vocals as well?
Yeah, he actually started as a rapper, and I didn't know this until about a month ago. But me and Frost just actually worked on our first vocal collab. He's 50 plus now, and he just sent me an open verse. I'm like, yo, he snaps. Like, I did not know what to
Yeah.
expect. He went crazy. Stay tuned for that one, because who knows when that'll come out.
Hell yeah. Looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
I've been following, like, God, I looked up on your Apple Music, like, you got a lot.
There's
You have a big discography for being this young.
So,
You know what I mean? Like, you've been working.
Thank you, dog.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there.
I'm gonna run this real quick for the folks out there that haven't heard it yet. I'm gonna say before it drops, your voice is mad unique too on this. Like, it just pops.
Kannon. Too black for the whites, too white for the blacks. You be code switching. Depending on who you be around, your tone different. Had to win, but couldn't do it by myself like the old Pippin. We were dope pitching, they had white girl Nicole Kidman. Smoke a pack to the face, brought a whole zipping. Taking soul, leave 'em floating on a ghost mission. Ice on my neck, the rope changes glow different. I had a fake gold Cuban about a decade ago. This is steady evolution, I'm a temple to growth. Said he got beef with me. It's best if you don't check in his post, laughing like death is a joke. Who the fuck want war with the Cannon Brigade? That's the quickest way to damage your name. Got it locked, one hand on the game. Yo, she miss who how we stand on the blade. Took a journey through the land of the plague. Yeah, I'm good through the pitfall. Fam got addicted, so I'm fighting through the withdrawals. Cuz got indicted, that's the shit that make your skin crawl. Married to the game and these hundreds on my in-laws. I'm good through the pitfall. Nowadays, everybody strapped playing quick draw. Body after body, that's the shit that make your skin crawl. Married to the game and these hundreds on my in-laws. Never had to front for your approval, this just how I am. Used to have hundreds of ounces weighing up 1,000 grams. Assess the board before I count my hand. That pressure have 'em melting like butter sliding across the pan. If you don't do it how they want it, then you lost a fan. Put a nigga in position, he drove a him. David Robinson, army man. still might drop 70 on the court when I'm hardly playing. They never have enough endurance for the race. These are my conditions and terms. No surface of snakes. Can't have too much pride not to learn from mistakes. Rhyme a couple words and escape. Peep the writings on the wall. Be patient for your time when it's called. Have them higher than the stars. Fly up to the gods. Who got the heart to triumph when it's hard? Devil on my trail, send them my regards. It's Kannon. I'm good through the pitfall. Fam got addicted, so I'm fighting through the withdrawals. Cuz got indicted, that's the shit that make your skin crawl. Married to the game and these hundreds on my in-laws. I'm good through the pitfall. Nowadays, everybody strapped playing quick draw. Body after body, that's the shit that make your skin crawl. Married to the game and these hundreds on my in-laws. Shit, I'm good through the pitfall. Shit, I'm good through the pitfall. Shit, I'm good through the pitfall.
Yeah, that's a dope track.
Fire, bro.
Thank you, boss.
Maybe a little air horn.
Really excited about this project. That song I think was a good one to let off. Just
Definitely.
get people introduced to the sound that we going for it.
No, definitely. So, your father was a musician, correct?
Correct.
How do you think that, affected your journey through hip hop and everything?
Yeah. So he's not a hip hop artist himself, but it's always affected me by the mere fact that he's inspired me and showed me that it was possible to be a musician at an early age. He always worked multiple jobs, but the primary breadwinner for him was music.
That's
when I
dope.
was 5, 6, 7 years old, he was taking 2 or 3 trips to New York City a week just because he had a residency out there.
That's sick.
He was traveling America, always on the road, but always handling his responsibilities at home as well. So I got to see firsthand at an early age that you can be a musician, take care of your responsibilities, just make sure you have something on the side that can maintain your bills until you're in a position that you can just blossom with music. He's also just always instilled in me confidence in music. I wrote my first rap when I was like 7, after my mom went to prison for the first time, and I rapped it for him. He just was like, yo, if this is what helps, this is how you feel, just keep going.
That's really good advice.
So at an early age, he just made it possible for me to believe in myself in this capacity.
I like that.
That's important.
I like that. What's he play?
He plays bass. He started off playing drums.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
that's
he
my
used
kinda
to. He
dude.
even did ballet, tap dancing. But
bass
the
club.
bass is by word.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he's a lifetime bassist, legendary in Ithaca, and can't give enough flowers to the OG for helping me on this journey.
No, that's
we
sick.
actually we're doing a release show in Ithaca, November 18th for Cautionary Tales. He's gonna play bass. We're gonna
wow.
recreate the album with a whole live band.
Oh, shit.
Got like 6 members right now: bassist, drummer, keyboard, background
That's
vocalist.
awesome.
Like, we got
That's
the
awesome.
gonna be the first time I get to perform with my dad, and that's on some bucket list shit. You feel
Yo,
me?
nah,
So,
that's really cool.
really
gotta be
excited
big.
for that.
That's really
if
cool.
If y'all available, pop out. Make
You
sure
said
that y'all
November
lit.
18th?
November 18th.
I'll be there. I'll make sure I'm there. I'm putting that in my notes right now.
Mark it on the calendar.
That's a fact.
So how long would you say you've been going at this music stuff seriously?
Seriously? Depends on what you consider serious, because I never stopped writing after that first rap. I rapped for my dad. I started putting videos on YouTube when I was like 11, 12, 13. It never stopped. So I put about a video a week on YouTube from like 13 to 15.
Damn.
Then at 15, started taking it to SoundCloud.
Those still around?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. I almost
That's
took them
dope.
off a bunch of times, but at this point, I look at them like that's the growth. You
Yeah,
feel
no,
me?
that's a
Exactly, yeah.
fact.
People
as,
love to see that.
as horrible and as embarrassing as those shits are, like I'm literally shirt off, 12 years old, in front of a camera, laptop webcam, just freestyling, and it's ass. I have mad speech impediments when I was young. But it's like it's that type of thing that it reminds me of where I came from and how far I've gotten on this journey.
Yeah.
So that's why I never took them off. You can find them on YouTube. I'm just not gonna tell you how.
I'll find them. We'll find them at some point.
They're there.
Yeah, no, that's dope though. I like the way you look at that. Like how that's just
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, nah, because I mean that's a benchmark for your journey. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that's where you really started to like put things out there.
Yeah.
And be like, this is what I want to do. This is who I am.
No doubt.
And now, I mean,
Now
you're where you're at.
there's always a trace. Like if you think of your favorite artists or just rappers that you're aware of, if you go down the rabbit hole, you can find traces of them from prior to them being mainstream or being successful. You can see the come up, unless they're industry plants or whatever. Like you can typically see that growth in the journey, and people get invested in that. You feel me? I know when I know a rapper and I watch their skills develop over time personally, makes me root for them. You feel me? I love feeling like I'm early to the party on somebody,
Yeah.
and then watching them get what they deserve. Like a Marlon Craft, if you know
Oh,
who that
yeah,
is,
nah.
you feel me? I've found out about Son like 2015, 2016.
When he was putting his videos out just on Facebook and everything.
Yeah, around that time. But
Yeah.
I did a team backpack event, and it was a
shit.
contest, and there was rappers from almost all 7 continents. You feel me? Mad different countries, people rapping in Chinese, fucking Spanish.
That's cool,
There's like
though.
500 rappers here. I'm 18 years old, and you're trying to make it to the top 12, right? And you only get one shot on stage to impress somebody. I didn't make it to the top 12, but it's a 4-day event. I'm doing ciphers around the whole 4 days, just meeting all these different rappers. Marlon Craft was one of those rappers.
Oh, shit.
Got to cipher with him, got to see him perform. He ended up making it to the top 12. Not only that, he ended up making it to the top 3, I believe, and got to see his whole thing develop to Sway freestyles, numerous records that are phenomenal.
That kid can rap.
Independent success, yeah. It's just really dope to be able to follow that journey and see the growth of somebody.
I like that you use that as like a networking opportunity too. Even though you didn't like you said, you were like, I didn't make the top 12, but every day you were around ciphering with new people,
Yeah.
finding, like getting names,
One of the
finding little
coolest things.
styles, you know, maybe I could do that.
I'm still in
different
touch
way.
with some of those folks to this day.
That's
and
awesome.
What's really crazy, those YouTube videos I'm talking about from when I was 11, 12, I got into a couple YouTube beefs with folks. Like we sent disses back and forth at each other back in those days. And folks that I was dissing, I got into a rap beef when I was 13 on YouTube. It's still there. And some random kid, I don't know why, dissed me from California. I dissed him back. And then his friend from Seattle dissed me. And then 5 years later, I see these dudes at the Team Backpack event.
That's crazy.
I got to see these
That's full
cats
circle.
5 years after some random. I'm like, oh, y'all still rapping like that?
That's crazy.
All beef aside, dap up, what's popping? I got a track with one of them now. Like it's that event was priceless, at least to me. You feel me? Like that type of I've never been around 500 great rappers. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like that's insane.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
Thinking about that, that's
So where was this located?
This was in Brooklyn, if I remember correct. It was in New York City, but I think it was in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Like Joel Ortiz, Cassidy, Dave East, Token, Ghostface Killer, mad folks performed at it.
Damn.
In between the events and shit. But it was primarily a contest. You submitted videos online, and like they had tens of thousands of entries, and then they invited like 500 folks to come out. And so it was like the first experience that I had where being tested around that many rappers that I didn't know. It was one of the first confirmations that I had that I'm like, oh, I am dope, and then oh, I'm not as dope as I thought I was. You feel me? Like it was a very humbling experience, but it made me just want to get better. There was the ciphers over there were unlike anything else, and I've still yet to see something like that 7 years later.
Damn.
hell yeah.
That's saying something.
No, that's fire though. I like how you use that to humble yourself as well. Because I mean, like, with your skill set, bro, you could be super cocky and you're mad humble. Like, you take everything with grace, you know what I mean? Every time someone compliments you, I've never seen you be like super arrogant or anything. Like, you take everything with grace. You you share other people's shit. Like, you be throwing other people's platforms out there and everything. And
Thank you, dog.
yeah, no, that's respect.
I mean, we're stronger together than we are apart. I wouldn't be here without so many folks that either inspired me, motivated me, or just instilled confidence in me at an early age. And I remember putting those back to those videos on YouTube again.
Yeah.
I was ass, son. Like, I was not a good rapper. And I see folks to this day that have raw talent or have good things about their music or good things about their attitude. Like, there are so many things that you can just work towards and make better. Like, folks got to stop shitting on people when they're at the beginning stages.
That's a fact.
Too many folks are not amazing at something when they start off. Somebody shits on them and then they never want to do it again.
Yeah.
People just got to be more accepting and willing to let people evolve and want to what they want to try to be. And if you fail, that's totally fine. But don't shoot somebody in the leg before they try to start running. Like,
No,
that
that's a
shit's fucked
fact. I like that.
I can subscribe to that.
That's a fact. So, actually, that the YouTube videos when you were 13 just reminded me of something. So, I performed one time. Okay. I don't even know where these files are at anymore. But I was supposed to put a track list together, and he was supposed to help me with it. And well, he did. But
we supposed to.
Yeah, no, we put it up. We put it off for like 4 weeks, and then it's like 2 days before the party, and my boy's like, "I need these reference tracks. I need these tracks, bro." And I'm like, "All right." And my mom don't know this, but she was out of town, and I just threw a banger at my crib, and we were in my mom's room with like a ghetto setup home studio.
Sorry, my dudes.
Yeah, smoking mad blunts in her room and shit. It was just.
Did she ever find out about that? Did she still?
Well, I mean, if she watches this episode, she might.
Yeah, she'll find out about it. I think I've mentioned a little bit of it because.
He was like, "Hey, my dukes, I was smoking mad blunts in your bedroom."
Yeah, and I had my boy. I couldn't even do ad libs at the time. Like I just
ad libs
couldn't.
were the hardest thing.
Yeah,
my good ones,
bro.
Ad libs were really hard for me for years.
I got my boy. Shout out to Zach O'Malley. He literally just stepped into the booth. We'd run my track back one time, and he was done with the ad libs, bro. He crushed it. And then it's funny because you mentioned something about Molly water in one of these songs. I forget which one it is. Bro, I've never mentioned this before either.
We have a confessional.
Yeah,
right now.
so I was telling him, like, "Yo, bro, don't let me near any beer. Don't let me near any alcohol." I disappear for like 20 minutes. I show back up super hammered. Just shit, I shouldn't be that drunk to go on stage.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
And then I'm asking for water. I'm like, "Yo, somebody give me water." And somebody who will remain unnamed gave me a bottle of water.
The devil in the flesh.
I slugged it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
thought it was vodka. He looks at me, he goes, "Nah, bro, that's some Molly water."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Unmistakable.
"Bro, I gotta go on stage in front of like 500 people in 5 minutes." Like,
Well, good thing Molly don't hit you in 5 minutes, but she probably
Yeah.
don't hit you while performing.
oh, it
which
did.
is- Oh,
It did.
yeah. You know Grassroots, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we had I got booked there a couple years back, right? And so I'm about to go on stage. It's me and my mans. And we have a group set planned. And we're getting ready to go on stage. I go up to him. I'm like, "Yo, you ready?" He's like, I'm not going on stage. I am rolling face." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, sit that one
I'm
out.
like, "Son, we've been planning this for 3 months." He's like, "Nope. I'm gonna be
I
right in the
can't do
crowd,
it.
bro. Go on."
Right.
Now, Molly is not a good thing to perform off.
No,
you feel like
bro.
you're superhuman, but in reality, your ass just look like
Oh yeah.
that lockjaw be getting you.
Oh my God, yo.
That's a fact.
I don't think I've ever seen him genuinely upset at me, except for that night. You were not thrilled.
Pure disappointment.
Pure disappointment.
Yeah, bro.
This was before the Molly water.
Yeah, he was already mad at me for the drinking. That shit was fucking so bad.
Haven't been back on stage since.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I mean, I came to the conclusion like I can write, and I can record, not really the best stage performer, which is weird because like did drama club and stuff like that, but I freeze up when it's my own art. You know what I mean? I freeze up.
Yeah, I mean, that performing is completely different than writing. It's completely different than rapping, recording. Like, performing is its own art and is in its own regard. You feel me?
Yeah, much so.
So just because somebody's nice at one thing don't mean it'll translate in that way. I'm sure if you gave it another go, you'd probably get more comfortable with it, especially if you come from a theater background.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you mean by drama?
Yeah, I did that. I did this thing called Odyssey of the Mind.
Fire.
You used to have to like solve a problem and make a little play about how you were solving the problem.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
but-
improvising?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of a nerd in high school.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
You
that.
know, a little bit, but yeah. Then we got, like I said, would get smoked by Ithaca and lacrosse. Hurt my soul.
And then spiked with molly water, and the
Yeah.
rest is history.
So,
Speaking of water.
you did that Ithaca cipher with D Brown's beat.
Yeah.
Have you like personally met KT and IB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually go back with KT. KT.
That's dope. He's a good dude.
You know KT?
He was
Yeah,
they
one
were
of our first guests,
him
yeah.
and IB and them were one of our first guests.
That's
yeah.
super dope. Cahill is KT, right?
Yep.
And I lived at the same crib from like 10 years old to 18 years old, basically. It was right in downtown Ithaca. It was like home base. It was the trap. You feel me? Like it was
Yeah,
everybody
home
knew
base.
where that shit was. KT, probably around 16, 17, when I was in high school, used to come over to my crib, smoke weed and rap.
Yeah.
He was nice back then. I used to play football with his cousin, so I had like a mediary mutual friend, basically.
Yeah.
And so he just somehow ended up at my crib, him and his little brother. They were really good at rapping back then, at like 16. Like, unusually good for people
Yeah.
that age. Like, I rap with folks all the time. I'm unusually good for my age. There's not many niggas like us. So I used to love ciphering with him, just having him over, smoking weed. And then for years, he stopped making music. And I was not necessarily like disappointed, that's the wrong word, but I always was like, what if? Like,
Yeah.
son could be killing shit right now. And I think he felt the same way, because eventually he came back.
With a firestorm, bro.
Firestorm, and he just
Like-
they just did their first headline show this past weekend, this past Friday.
Oh, shit.
Yesterday they did their first headline show.
Congratulations.
dope.
Almost performed with them, but I was getting ready for today. You feel
Yeah.
me?
I appreciate that.
And so they've done a lot in a little bit.
Yeah.
IB, his father is a promoter in Ithaca.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I've done
I
a lot
didn't
of
know that.
I've done a lot of business with his dad. I've done business with his dad for a couple years now, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yo, my son's a rapper." I'm like, what? Like, let me hear his shit. Go to the studio with him one time. Like, you dope. Chop it up with him. The more I start really paying attention and tapping in, I'm like, oh, you really dope. So I got a lot of love and respect for 607 SOS. That's their group. But
Yeah.
KT specifically, IB, those are folks that I know pretty well.
Yeah, we were at the one of the 607 showcases that they have up there in Ithaca.
At the lounge.
Yeah, and like the one that the Nomads are on, I think. And they were on stage, and I was like bumping Denzel. I'm like, yo, this is before we even had all of this.
That
you know
might have
what
been
I
their
mean?
first performance.
Yeah, that's
I think
what
it
that's
was.
what he said, and I was like, yo, bro, these kids, we need them on our show.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember that being their first performance.
yeah, and that was a good performance
They
too,
did the damn thing.
especially after the kid with the baseball slides.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Nomads.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Actually, we've been in contact with them about doing an episode too. Those are my guys.
They have a long legacy in Ithaca.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing hip hop in Ithaca for 2 decades.
I believe that.
There's been many phases of the Nomads. And
Phases.
one thing's for sure, there's always gonna be another one too. Like they know how to stay around. They do good business, and they've always showed love. I know the creators of the Nomads very well, and they've always done their thing, showed love and support, and gave back whenever they could.
Nah, yeah, that's the kind of vibe I get off of them.
That's for sure.
'Cause, like,
Genuine people.
Yeah, and I mean, they have a way bigger, like, following and platform than we did at the time. So it was just like, and they were just like, yeah, I'll be on your podcast, bro. Just contact me, you know? It is what it is. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a lot harder to convince you to come on this, you know?
I said, always trying to spread the word.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to run this real quick because I fuck with your verse in this, too.
Thank you.
Your verse in this is heat.
I wrote this shit clap.
Nah, you did.
Yo, son,
Cause my national bird is a desert eagle, it's a cold world. But I brought verses for every season. I'm the truth that they don't believe until they shaking and bleeding. They begging me for forgiveness. I skip the message, I never read it. Never see it cause the moment of truth is brought to the surface when the darkness is the path to pursue. I'm back in the booth, if you lucky I'ma pass it to you. For now I'm on, but with it tell the camera watch how I move. I swear I'm sick of talking to these niggas, hearing simple writtens. Niggas used to have to rap for them to make it in the business. Man, it's crazy how these niggas learn to fake it to make a living. They basic, I ain't forgetting the shit that I'm representing is KT.
Spent years trying to master the craft. Too much growth, can't go back to the past. Told the plug I'll be back in the flash, trapping the bag, smoking while I'm adding up. You ain't never caught a slug from a handgun. Still wanna deal with the trauma that I ran from. Damn son, try to brace when the jam come. Used to play ball, they was worried about an and one. Said I came from a place where they front and they fake. I was dumb, had to run from the chase. Learning how to balance all the love and the hate, but I rock steady like the drums and the bass. No self-doubt, just trust in your fate. Caught myself slipping, had to pump on the brakes. The game got weird and the drugs getting laced. Word from the judge that your plug caught a case. You ain't never had to move a body. Fucked up when the shooter got me, guess I was moving sloppy. Got a little too cocky, thinking who could stop me. Was a bullet to a Luca Brasi. There it go with the tough guy, bro. You the nicest kid out the bunch I know. One on the scope, one eye closed. He pulled out the gun, I froze. It struck my pose. Ever felt so much blood that the sunlight cold? Things haven't been the same since the drug price rose. Got love for the odds, but it's fuck my foes. Kept my eyes on the prize, can't rush my.
All I ever ask is keep it 100.
That is... Damn, son.
Thank you, dog.
You ripped that.
I appreciate that, man.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you write and, like... Do you use Google a lot, or do you just have like a memory of all these people? Like, what's a bullet to a Luca Brasi? You know what I mean? Like, that's a bar.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't use Google. But
Yeah.
I use Google if I have a word in my head that I know is about to rhyme that I'm either unsure about or just want to confirm the definition of.
I like
Because
that.
there's nothing worse than writing a song, going to record a song, and then listening back to it and then being like, I used that word wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I sound like a dumbass, like using words that you don't know. But have used Google before. I typically have the references in my head. You feel me?
Yeah.
That specific verse, I didn't use Google for that one. I was really drunk at D Brown's studio. He had the cipher stemmed from his first annual Chop It Up at D Brown's studio day, basically. He had a vendor doing food, played only music from loudspeakers that he recorded at his studio.
That's dope.
Dozens of different artists. Had a bunch of food. Set up beer pong tables there. He did a beer pong tournament. The winner won free studio time.
Hey.
Shout out me, I won that.
Hell
Like, but at the end of the night, after I'm clapped, I've been there 6 hours. He's like, yo, Ant, we're about to start recording. Do you want to hop on this song? I was like, not really. Like, I'm clapped. Like, I'm not functional right now. He was like, no, we need you. And so I just go outside, 30, 45 minutes, write a verse, go in the studio, drunk as hell, record it. The next day, I'm listening back to it. I'm like, yo, it should sound fire. Like,
Bro, that was super heat.
We
Had
did
no
our
idea.
thing. Like, shout out KT, T Melly, IB. Like, it was a
Yeah.
really dope song. And very spontaneous. Like, it wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
They had another cypher track as well. It was dope. I just have so much love for D Brown and what he's done and trying to do, because I know his journey is mostly yet to be told. But I've been working with him for over a decade now. Like, I've been recording with D Brown since I was like 14,
Oh, wow.
15 years old.
A long time.
And just seeing his natural development as well. He puts a big battery in my back. He's a large reason why I'm where I can't say he's responsible for where I am today, music.
But he pushes you.
He's
Playing a part.
just as
Yeah.
responsible as any external force could possibly be. You
Yeah.
feel me? He makes the music sound damn good. Like,
Oh yeah. No, that sounded fire.
yeah.
I wasn't ready for that verse. I don't even remember where I found that. Did you show me that, or did I show you that?
Don't remember, to be honest with you.
I think KT might have posted it or something.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, that was stupid. That was fire. The beat's fire. I mean, did he made the beat, right?
D Brown?
Yeah.
Nah, D Brown doesn't make beats.
He didn't make the beat?
He had the beat. I can't remember who made it. I think it might have been Joey Merrifield.
Oh,
If y'all know Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Joey Merrifield who made that beat. Shout out Joey. I went to elementary school with
Really?
Joey. Like,
That's
I
crazy.
go way back with son.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You'll have that sometimes.
So, do you feel like talking about what happened with what was in the song?
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like you use music to like vent your trauma
Yeah.
from what happened, from getting
Of
shot
course.
and everything?
Yeah, I use music to vent every trauma I've ever dealt with. You
I
feel
like
me?
that.
And so that's not unique in that regard. After I got shot, funny, like I forced myself not to rap for like a week or two.
Yeah.
Because all I saw was red. It was literally all I could think about. And so I'm like, yo, no, I wasn't coming up with anything productive. It was really angry
Just
music.
angry, yeah.
Ended up finally getting back to music and had a new, like a second wind, basically. Like, everything became very clear to me, as cliche as it is. Like, I figured out exactly what was important to me. There was no more bullshitting. You
Yeah.
know, I knew what I needed to do. It was a very eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
And so at this stage in my life and in the past couple of years, I definitely have alluded to it or just point blank talked about it in my
Yeah.
music, because it is like addressing it, having conversations about it with myself, and sharing it with folks, talking about one of those life experiences that makes you who you are.
Yeah.
I don't let that situation define me. Like, I'm not who I am because I got shot.
Yeah, no.
But it is something I live with every day. It'll impact me on a daily basis, every minute for the rest of my life. You
Yeah.
feel me? So I have tried to not talk about it as much these days.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like there was a point where it was pretty excessive. But at the end of the day, it's just like journaling. It's therapy. If it's on my
Yeah.
mind, that's what I'm going to talk about. So it's not unique in that regard. I vent all the trauma that I go through my life, whether people even know that they're listening to it or not.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, bars are tied directly to specific circumstances, situations,
Hell yeah.
scenarios. It's just the type of artist that I am.
That's dope. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody in the spot was bugging out. We got to get to the hospital, And you said, I'm not going nowhere till we roll up.
Yeah.
Is that a
yeah,
fact? Or
basically.
is that a fact, or was
Yeah.
I?
That's basically exactly what happened. By the time I realized I had gotten shot, I had gotten shot, and I was up for a little bit. Like, I heard screaming, and shit is foggy. I start smelling sulfur. You feel me?
Yeah.
And everything's fuzzy. And then I realized, like, people are yelling, "You got shot! You got shot!" Like, no, I didn't. I turn around, blood splattered in blood.
Yeah.
The wall splattered in blood. And so then I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, fall to my knees. By the time I like had my bearings together, the intruders were gone. I'm just covered in blood, hands and knees on the carpet in my house. Everybody's freaking out. Like, call 911, call 911. And I wanted to assess the situation. Roll me up a blunt. Yo, don't call the cops. Somebody, I gotta get stuff out of my bedroom if the
Gotta
cops
think
is
about
coming.
this,
Like we can't just call the cops.
Right.
But that's exactly what happened. Nobody rolled me my blunt.
man.
I was a very sad man that day, but they was just looking out for me.
Exactly.
Everybody that I've ever told that story to has said, "Thank God they didn't roll you that blunt
That's a
that day."
fact, bro. Shit. That's a
But
fact.
definitely would have calmed my nerves at that. It was like I had to be the one at that moment to calm everybody else down.
Yeah.
Because dripping blood.
Meanwhile,
got
you're the
bullet in
one.
you.
You're the one
Crazy
holding yourself
part.
together.
I mean,
yeah.
everybody's screaming, freaking out. Like nobody knows what's going on. And I know if I freak out,
It's gonna make it worse.
everybody's gonna freak out more. I'm like, hey, it's okay. But I was covered in dirt because I'm on a dirty carpet. I'm sweating, blood all over. I want to get up. I'm like, I need to pick myself up, get to the bathroom so I can wash off.
Yeah.
My family was not gonna pick me up because I didn't know this at the time, but my pops was in the military. It's like if there's a bullet inside
Not
you
supposed to
and
move
you're
nobody.
moving, the bullet's just gonna travel through your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so he didn't say that, but he was like, "I'm not picking you up. You're not moving." The cops get there. He's like, "I'm not picking you up. You're not moving." I'm like, "Fuck y'all." So I pick myself up off the ground, walk over to the bathroom, start washing. And at this point, I give the phone to, I think, my girlfriend, Nicole.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yo, can you take a video? Like, I need to see what this shit looks like." And at this point, the cops are like, "You need to go down to the ambulance." The cops let me walk myself from the top of my house down the steps,
That's
out the door,
crazy.
down more steps to the ambulance. My dad was outside talking to the cops, and when he saw me walk outside, he started flipping on the police
Yeah,
department and the
doing their
ambulance. It's
job.
like, why the fuck did y'all let him walk down 2 flights of stairs? I'm like, "Pops, it's okay." But that was just adrenaline talking. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
I had to. It's like 2 a.m. I had to go in the ambulance, and I thought we was going to Ithaca. 30 minutes goes by. I'm like, "Hey, where
They
the
took
fuck
you to
are we going?"
upstate?
They took me to Sayre. it
Jesus.
took me to PA. Was there for like 12 hours. They discharged me the next day. So that was it was an odd situation, but that is a fact. I did ask to not call the cops and to roll up a blunt so I could assess the
That's
situation first.
I'm glad you're here, though. I'm glad you
Thank
made that. You know what I
Shit.
mean?
Me too, brother.
I mean, it seems like, like you said, it humbled you.
Yeah.
It made you be like, no more bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
do all this.
I was on a lot of bullshit. Like I was never. I always felt like I knew where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like I was taking calculated risks. I always felt like I was invincible, and
have
nothing
money,
would
yeah.
happen to me. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it did, and it probably could have happened much sooner. I'm blessed that it didn't happen earlier, cause that house that I was telling you that I lived in for that gap, that 10 to 18,
Yeah.
that was really that was really the trap. That was
Yeah.
really no rules, in and out, 40 people in the crib at almost any God-given time.
Like Zach's
And-
old crib.
Yeah.
And nothing happened there. Like, I didn't get shot in that house. I moved to get away from the bullshit. We stopped allowing anybody over. My house was no longer the trap.
Yeah.
And in like the first year, I get shot in my crib. So, it's a blessing how it all turns out. I always tell my pops, like, it was the best case of the worst case scenario. Like,
Yeah.
Good way to look at it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
hell yeah.
So, I mean, it's like you went from the streets to selling insurance. That's a good crossover,
That's
though,
what
because
it
is.
the skill sets coincide.
You know,
Like
a little bit.
I'll tell you, the skill sets coincide.
I don't
so.
know. I don't know which side has more snaky people in it.
That's true. That's honestly true.
That's a good question.
Sold insurance for like 4 months.
You did?
Yeah.
What line?
Didn't work.
You like property and casualty?
Huh?
Property and casualty.
Yeah.
Facts.
That was not.
That's
I made like no money.
the first 6 months. First 6 months is what makes or breaks people. Like,
Yeah, I made, like,
the
no
first
money.
6 weeks, to be honest. Like, people usually sign up, get licensed, get a job in insurance, and quit the first month.
Yeah,
And
that
they're
was
like,
before I was like outgoing and everything, so I wasn't really good with like the whole sales concept. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, did you have a base salary?
No.
Or, yeah, that's the thing. Like,
That's
I
why
would
I said I
never
didn't
have
make
gotten
nothing.
into this job if it was only commission-based structure. You feel
Yeah.
me? You gotta get that security blanket and then
That's a
just build
fact.
your way up from there. It's a mundane, tedious job, but I like it.
Yeah.
And it's 9 to 5, easy schedule to work around for music, and at least for me personally. And so it's weird how I ended up there, but I haven't left. So
Yeah, no, that's a dope turnaround too. You know what I mean? Shows everybody you can come from all that, and then you just, you know, you can lead a normal life.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't understand that. Like, a lot of people get too attached, and they'll keep one foot in the streets, even though they're trying to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like that one foot, they're just not sure. They get too attached to
It's
that
just
shit.
hard. I mean, this shit's hard. Can't comment on it too much because it's not that I can't comment on it, but I know so many folks who play that balancing act very well. Was one of those folks. It is incredibly hard. And even when you think that you're outside of something and fully removed of it, it's very easy to get sucked back in.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of folks don't have enough good people in their corner to encourage them when they are doing the right thing to make them feel like it's actually the right thing.
Hell yeah.
So you got to be the one who controls that ultimately. You got to make your own decisions and do what's best for you. But people have to also have a good network around them, a good support system.
It makes a difference.
It really does. It makes a world of a difference.
That's a fact. So you feel like you got some good homies around you, like not yes men, like people that'll call you over, like, yo, you fucking up on this part. You know what I mean? Like,
I got some folks that are, I wouldn't call them yes men, but they don't necessarily hold me accountable to the fullest extent. But I also have people that'll hold me accountable for anything that I do.
nah, that's good.
It's good to have both and as many non-yes men as you possibly can.
Hell yeah.
My man Kels will always keep it straight shooter with me, no matter what the situation is. My boy Sam, straight shooter, no matter what the situation is. Sometimes I want to smack the shit out of him. I'll be hyped to show him a song sometimes, like, yeah. Like, that shit was ass. I'm like, put him up. Put him up. Like,
Nah, he plays that role for me a lot.
you gotta
Honestly,
have
he keeps
somebody.
me.
That's a
he
fact.
Keeps me down.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like everybody needs that person in their life or people in
Yeah.
their lives to do that for them.
That's a fact. 100%. So we're gonna take a break real quick. We will be right back, and then we'll have the halftime freestyle.
Have some freestyle.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're back. Took a short break, chopped it up, but you ready?
Let's get it.
All right, we about to run this beat. Is Strange the name of the beat?
It's Strange is the name of the beat.
Strange? All right,
Yes, sir.
copy.
Shout out my man Ramon,
My man about to rip this apart.
DJ Rockman.
Here we go.
And straight up,
Yeah.
no trespassing sign.
Cautionary Tales, October 20th. Come fuck with it.
Pre-download it.
Kannon.
And straight,
If I ask what you stand for, you don't have an answer. Send them off the map like Ganondorf. Had the pack, it was shining like the towels on the dance floor. Famous rappers doing GoFundMes for a funeral, cause ain't nobody playing for it. Who's paying for it? Saw a hole through the line, then I ran towards it. Baby, I'm the man, my credit great, I might get some properties and landlord it. We was out in the cold, fingers in the pockets with the hand warmers. Creeps on the block, she young enough to be your granddaughter. I had to cut ties with family, that's a wicked game I don't like to play. He untrustworthy, give a fuck if he got love for me. Had to work, so I'm up early, try and get the Hall of Fame to hanging up the jersey. Only one, I'm about to put a birdie. Climb to the top of the summit, this is not what you wanted. We don't have to talk about the struggle, nobody's above it. Paranoid, overthinking, it probably was nothing. I still be cautious when I'm riding, cause fuck it. Remember Bowie pulling up, saying hop in the bucket, I gotta make it. Can't say I got it popping for nothing, I'm not with the clubbing. Barely see me rocking in public. Lost 40 pounds after he got shot in the stomach. Tried to walk on a righteous path, but memory scarred. The fiends putting pipe to glass, knew what drugs were before I knew how to wipe my ass. So my goal is longevity, I'm trying to last, live a long life. cross off the final task. Bullet makes me feel like my spine crack daily. Long as I can live to see another day, I'm fine with that. They a dime a dozen, used to smoke dime sacks. Nowadays, I ain't even fighting, just a light tap. Wait, is he white or black? At this point, they don't even know. Like Mike Jack, if you want me for the tour, I need 5 racks, and I need you to pay for the flight there and flight back. Who's your go-to choice? I'm about to flow with Royce, see it clear as bifocals. I'm the focal point, bitch, I'm him. I spend my days writing raps and rehearsing. Creme de la creme. Kannon, baby.
Damn, son.
Let's get it.
Bro.
Creme de la creme.
Yo, nah. So, I fuck with the way that you, like, you're really mathematical with the way that you rhyme. Like, I look at it like I listen to your music and I'm like, all right, he's on to a whole nother rhyme scheme. And then all of a sudden you bring it back from like 4 bars ago and I'm like, oh, shit.
It's one of my favorite things.
I wasn't even thinking about this rhyme scheme anymore. And you brought it back and I'm just like, damn.
Not everybody can do that.
No, not at all. That's like that's like next level rapping.
Thank you, boss. I mean, when I listen to music, I guess not every single time, but often, especially when I'm listening to great writers, great minds behind the music, I envision what their notebook or phone or notes app looks like. I envision what the lyrics look like in a typed out written format. That's what I'm interested in.
I like that.
I like how the package is presented. I like flows. I like voices, tones, and cadences, but the words are the entree, you feel me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm there for. So the rhyme schemes, I appreciate that. That's high praise, something that I take a lot of pride in.
Yeah, no, I mean, bro, it's next level. Like, that's literally all I have to say. Like, it's not even, because, I mean, I've listened to a lot of people who, like, try that, and it's just like, you're reaching a little bit. But, like, you make the words sound, like, just, and it sounds effortless, honestly.
Thank you.
I know it took a lot of work to get here.
Yes,
Let me stop. It's not effortless, but you make it seem that way at this point.
No, of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's one of the highest compliments you can give somebody who has put a lot of effort in. You feel me?
Yeah.
There's a lot. Effortless is such a common word that people use and throw around out there. It very rarely ever actually explains something properly. You feel me? It's just like the term overnight success. That rarely ever explains the actual situation. You feel me? The overnight success takes 10 years in the making before they become an overnight success.
That's a fact.
The folks that make that shit look effortless, the amount of effort they're putting in behind closed doors, that shit is overwhelming. You feel me? Like, so that is one of the highest compliments you could definitely give artists. I appreciate that.
It's like Kobe. Like Kobe in the gym.
Yeah, that's
Everybody would say he's just doing it effortless on the floor, but dude's
in the
working
gym.
out 6 hours or 6 times a day. You know what I mean?
That fadeaway jump shot does look effortless, but there's many nights of pain that some put in so that he can make your favorite hooper cry.
I'm glad we were able to unpack that.
Yeah,
because
dog.
not a lot of people would just take that and be, you know.
Nah,
You unpack that like that. It's sick. So, what track do you think is your favorite on Cautionary Tales?
Oh man, that's a really hard question. I have a single dropping at the end of September, I believe September 26th. It's called Cold Start. It's not my favorite off the album, but it's my favorite of the 4 singles that have dropped pre-release.
Okay.
There's 1,000 People, which is the outro technically of the album. That was one that I have a very great time listening to it back, even though I've heard all of those songs 200 times by now. I still found myself smiling and bobbing my head like I'm just at the cookout when I'm listening to that shit. Never Was Cool is a really, really slow, methodical, slow burn track that I've never dropped something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's
that
really
sounds cool.
It's short, it's slow. I think it only has 1 verse, a bridge, a hook, an outro, but I really like it. I'm not sure if many folks, will have it as their favorite off the project because it is a slower burn, but it's one that sticks out to me because I don't have much like it in my discography.
It's unique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, but that's a good point as to why you would like it. You know what I mean? It's like trying something new, being
course.
experimental. I mean, you're somebody that obviously, I can tell that you already know that you only grow outside of your comfort zone. So
That's a great way to put it.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons that I feel like, because I mean, I was listening to things from like 2018 to now, and it's even like the development from then.
Night and day.
Yeah,
I listened
it's
to
crazy.
the first album I ever dropped, Colorblind. I listened to a song from it last night. It was probably the first time I heard it in 3-4 years. And I'm like, yo, this is probably one of the best songs I ever made, but this shit, the flow is trash. like if I just think about the content, the storytelling, like I was onto something, but the packaging was horrible. Like, it's 2018 was a crazy year. I think that's when I rebranded into Anthony Kannon from Infamous. I used to go by Infamous. Had a big discography on SoundCloud, probably 70, 80 songs.
Jeez, that's deep.
That was like high school Anthony. That's what I was dropping music under back then. But there's 1,000 rappers named Infamous. Like,
Yeah.
I was the last one to pop up at the bottom of the list when you typed in that name.
Yeah.
So had to go.
Understandable. You want that high SEO.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Search
I mean
engine
the rebrand
optimization.
works.
man, y'all
knows?
need-
And
Yeah,
the
it makes a difference.
The
No, it
rebrand
really does.
definitely works though, 100%.
Thank you, boss.
So, let me ask an off-kilter question. How long you been growing the afro out?
How long have I been? What is it? 14 months, 16, 18 months,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a year and a half. Probably up to a year and a half. I don't think I've gotten a real haircut in like a year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Couple trims here and there.
Yeah, exactly. And edge-ups, you feel me? But I like, I was watching a lot of my friends go bald. And I was like, damn, I need one last hoorah.
That's I mean, bro, I'm holding on to my last hoorah right now.
I know my man's 22, holding on for dear life. I'm like, oh shit, son. I know I'm right around the corner. Like,
Yeah, nah, my cousin's 26 and already went straight cue ball.
yeah.
Like at 24, he was already cul-de-sacing, and I was like, bro, why are you even keeping that? Like,
Come on. Like, it don't look too bad. It don't look-
yeah, nah, I fuck with the fro. You used to have one like that too.
Back in the day.
that's when I think I got put on to you, was when you had your man.
Oh shit! When I had the big hair.
Working with Zoe back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
you had a big head of hair, son.
Yeah, OD.
Once upon a time.
Yeah, when I was younger in like elementary school, I used to have a rat tail, so I had hair.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I had hair past my butt.
Oh, you had a long one.
I had a long rat tail, son. I grew it from like 2 to 9. Or what, 2 to 9. I grew it from like as long as I could grow hair until 9 years old.
That's great.
Not intentionally. It wasn't my choice.
It
But
wasn't his idea.
yeah, eventually that shit had to go.
That's funny though. He said a rat tail.
Rat tail, yeah.
Picture
bro.
Yeah, that's sick.
Album coming soon, Rat Tail.
Yeah. Featuring white boy with a bowl cut. Me. Nah, that's funny though. The rat tail. Everybody had one of those haircuts. I think everybody had one of those like really bad haircuts in elementary school.
You would hope so.
At least.
You would hope that everybody goes through that one little. You get bullied for a couple months.
Oh yeah.
Makes your skin thick.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fact.
Can't do that no more.
Do you remember when I had the bowl cut?
I think I do, yeah.
Oh, it was bad. It looked like somebody just put a popcorn bowl on my head and just cut the hair around. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But so anything that's like not put on here, what else you got in the vault?
Cooking.
You know?
I got a lot of music in the vault. My plans for the rest of the year, at the Cautionary Tales comes out October 20th, obviously. October 26th, I have a release show in Winnipeg, Canada.
Oh, that's
so
sick.
I'm gonna do my first international show. And it's gonna be my first gig out the country, headlining it. Gonna be really dope. Meet Frost Gamble for the first time. And that's what my focus is are on right now. The Winnipeg release show, and then November 18th back in Ithaca. The album I've been out for about a month. Get people acclimated to the
Hell
lyrics.
yeah.
And then just boom, right before Thanksgiving and Black Friday, light up the hometown for one. it's gonna be a crazy event. I got another artist from the label coming down. His name's Justo Lee MC. He's from New York City, but he's currently in New Jersey. And I've never met Son before, but he's featured on the album. We've been speaking, working together since getting acclimated with each other. Really excited to watch him perform for the first time. It's gonna be a really dope event in Ithaca and Winnipeg. Just excited to really push this album and give it the proper care it deserves.
Hell yeah.
I'm putting this album on vinyl for the first time.
That's dope.
And that's been an experience. I just got test presses for it. So we're about to do the full production. It's been one of the most stressful music experiences of my life.
Yeah, we're gonna need one of those.
Oh yeah, I hope everybody needs one of those. Because this shit
We're
has
gonna
been
need
very,
one of
very.
those.
It is. You've have you ever made CDs? Like put your music on a CD?
Yeah.
This shit is like that. If the devil decided to do the process himself, like it has been awful. But it's been a learning experience. Like the next time I go to press a vinyl, I'll know how to do this shit rather quickly. I've had to figure out everything on the fly. And the company that I'm using, they've been very helpful. But it's still been 9 months to get this shit really on the road. So just really, that was like bucket list to get your music on vinyl. I should have those in the next month or two to go with the release of the project. That's a piece of merch that I've just never had. And I'm really excited to get out there.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the first international show.
I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
I'm hoping that with this international deal, more international opportunities come with it. You
Oh,
feel me?
yeah.
If they can get me out to Europe for a little mini tour, I would not be mad.
Take that and run with it, bro.
Yeah, they
Take
love
that and run with it.
Man,
All over the
it's
world, actually.
exactly. I mean, in America, a lot of folks, you're getting. I mean, and when you're an American artist with an American fan base, a lot of folks are late to the party. They don't want to support. They don't want to be a fan of you until they see other people being a fan of you or
Exactly.
supporting. That's not everybody,
No.
but that's just a common trait out here that I don't see as often in European or foreign markets. They hear dope music and they just support it. They want to see it live. So I know a lot of underground niche artists that can sell out European venues, but wouldn't do that in America. It's kind of interesting, and I'm just hoping to delve more into different markets so I can make some connections and travel the world. That shit would be beautiful.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Not that we support rats, but I'm pretty sure wasn't Tekashi doing something like that in like Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic or Slovakia?
He absolutely was. Tekashi, ever since he's got out, has been periodically touring foreign markets.
Yeah.
Because they don't care.
They don't.
You
Yeah,
know,
they
feel
don't
me?
care about that stuff.
But he's also still mainstream. You feel me?
Yeah.
There's artists that can't scratch Tekashi numbers, that can go and still perform and thrive in European markets. Like, it's really a big testament. And for other up and coming artists out here, you should be trying to promote yourself to these markets that are untapped. They're really, really fruitful if you utilize them properly.
That's really good advice. That's super good advice, especially for the younger ones.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's sick. So, for your Winnipeg show, you getting flown out there, or you just?
I'm flying out
Yeah,
there.
that's
I'm not
sick.
getting flown
No,
out there.
I get it.
I'm putting
No,
up the
yeah, I
cost
was gonna
myself.
say the
like-
drive. That's a hell of a drive.
It would be over 24 hours of a drive.
Yeah.
I went to Canada for the first time this year, and I went to Toronto. I've been to Toronto twice this year, and I booked this Canada show, thinking, oh, okay, it's in Winnipeg. What's that? A couple hours away? Like,
Nah, it's in
what?
Manitoba,
So
bro.
I go to book the flight. I'm like, yeah, it's in Manitoba.
Yeah, that's in
I'm like,
Manitoba,
what the
bro.
hell, son? So, rude awakening. It's up by like North Dakota and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's super deep.
But I'm very excited for it. It's going to be culture shock. Going to be able to bring some upstate New York, Ithaca 607 shit out there.
Hell yeah.
Going to be able to absorb what they have to offer. There's a bunch of openers as well that I'm really excited to listen to their music. I'm going to be out there for 4 or 5 days. I'm going to stay at Frost Gamble's crib.
Oh, sure.
He has a studio in his basement. So if there are any Canadian artists out there near Winnipeg that want to get a feature on and pop in after they listen to this shit, hit me up. Like,
Yeah, nah, you heard it here first.
Yeah,
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, well, shit, definitely gonna try and link up with some local artists out there, because since working with Frost and putting out music with him, Canada is actually one of my biggest listening bases.
Oh, wow.
That's
like,
cool.
I don't know people in Canada at all, but
know you.
he must have a solid fan base out there, because
Decent
they've been
network.
gravitating towards the music. So I'm actually excited to go out there and see some familiar people just from social media. It's gonna be weird, but it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool.
Oh yeah.
You got people filming for you?
I'm going to hire a local.
Good.
Frost has somebody that he's already hired for the event, but I want to get independent footage as well.
Yeah, no, I definitely need that footage.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, looking
100%.
forward to seeing that.
Hell yeah.
That'll be awesome. So, I mean, what do you think? How do you think it's gonna be like meeting Frost for the first time? It's crazy that you guys just have such chemistry and you guys haven't actually met yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course. I mean, we went into a record deal before, like, meeting each other.
Yeah.
And that was something weird in its own regard. You feel me? Because I always grew up like I'm independent for life. I'm never gonna
Yeah.
do a record deal, and I'm still independent despite this deal. That was just the ignorance of my mindset back in the day. You
Yeah.
feel me? But it's going to be great to meet Frost. It's not gonna feel like I'm meeting somebody. It's just gonna feel like I'm seeing a friend. You
Yeah,
feel me?
that's dope.
I'm looking forward to making some music in person together. I'm looking forward to just sitting at a bar and chopping it up, picking his brain, because I know he has such a rich history, knowledge in this game and culture. I'm looking forward to sharing some of myself, my background with
Yeah.
him, because I think that's only going to benefit the music in the long run. Like, we're not, we have Cautionary Tales, but we have so much music that's recorded outside of this that we have follow-ups ready. I think we're going to continue to keep making music together.
That's awesome.
And meeting in person, continuing to build this relationship and flesh it out is only going to make the music better down the line.
I agree.
Oh yeah. I like how you give people their flowers too.
And you got to
Very
give it to
humble
them
with
while they
that,
smell them.
and you get
While
that's
they're
a
still
fact.
around to smell them, son.
That's a fact. You give people their credit where it's deserved. So you said,
That's how it should be.
and I think actually, you said Cold Start
Yeah.
is one of your favorites. We're gonna run that real quick.
You only got that if you pre-ordered it.
I did.
My God.
I might have got off to a cold start. We at the bar taking shots, trying to throw darts. Chest made of metal, that's a chrome heart. Front a bunch of packs, the plug was a loan short. Still got the money back every time. You can fact check every line. Pick a spot, pigs on the block. I don't mess with swine. 5'10", but stand on my word, so I'm 7'9". They never really wanted me to make it out, so anytime I faced an obstacle, I had to make it count. While you twisting up your face to pout, I took a crazy route, but I'm the hardest artist of, and I know they can vouch. Ayy, how you questioning the motive? Nigga, I was lost, no direction, I was hopeless. Flexing with them microaggressions. You don't keep it real with yourself, but I'm supposed to respect it. Keep it rockin' with it, keep it rockin' with it. Rock a bar, baby, keep it rockin' with it. Rock a bar, baby, keep it rockin' with it. Keep it rockin' with it, keep it rockin' with it. Keep it rockin' with it, keep it rockin' with it. Rock a bar, baby. Rockin' with it, rock a bar, baby. Keep it rockin' with it, keep it rockin' with it, keep it rockin'. Let's go. We started with the freedom of a slave. Grab a pen, leave it bleeding on the page. They shot a nigga down the block. Docs had to amputate his leg. He still died because jealousy's a plague. Yeah. I don't want the cops looking when I'm trapping. I don't want my pops looking in a casket. Burying your kid while you're living. It's scary where we living, but that's the business. I ain't settling for less than I deserve. Tried to read between the lines, the message in the words, or the blessings that I curve. Had to stand out from the crowd, they just following the herd. It's absurd. Take pride in the struggle, I ain't proud of the struggling. That's two different things, or you loud or you mumbling. Mind on the hustling, eyes on the prize. Spent my whole life relying on the government, I'm done with it. Keep it rockin' with it, keep it rockin' with it. Rock a bar, baby, keep it rockin' with it. Rock a bar, baby, keep it rockin' with it. Keep it rocking with it, keep it rocking with it, keep it rocking with it, keep it rocking with it. Rockabye, baby, keep it rocking with it. Rockabye, baby, keep it rocking with it, keep it rocking with it, keep it rocking with it. Let's go, ayy. We all stuck inside a rat race. Whenever someone disrespect me, it leave a bad taste. Risk life, Nick, right? He got bad taste. Subwoofer pumping mad bass, yeah. Frost know I got off to a cold start. Every verse is a sculpture, I'm tryna mold art. They desecrate the culture, I want no parts. So your life isn't snowfall.
That shit was heat too.
Hell yeah.
Thank you,
The
brother.
song just naturally fade out like that, or is there
Yeah,
more?
Yeah.
the song naturally fades out like that, leads
like
into
that.
the next single. I really like that joint. It's another calm, like cool, collected,
Yeah.
like just a slow tempo, but kind of melancholy vibe to it. This album is unlike any project that I've ever dropped before.
Yeah.
But it's familiar still. It's not like I'm stepping too much out of my lane, but it's really centered. It's not the flashiest by any means. It's very concise. Cautionary Tales on the cover art. It's a figure reading a book. The track list is the book itself, the table of contents, and the album's supposed to present itself as if first song to the last song, like an audio book. Like I wanted to give that
I
type
like
of
that.
type
Dope
of
concept.
feel. You feel me? It's definitely a front to back listen. Hopefully, people are able to pick and choose their favorite songs and go back.
People
enjoy
don't make
those.
concept albums anymore.
Yeah, it's
Sick.
definitely a lost art. I mean, there's folks that do it very well today. It's just that concept albums are not really pushed. They're not the trendy thing. But there's some artists that do it phenomenally. One of my favorite in recent memory, The Book of Ryan by Royce da 5'9". Absolutely insane autobiographical shit. It's really inspiring.
That's dope. And it takes a lot of talent to do those. You know what I mean? And it takes a long time to be like, to create like a cohesive story from song to song that matches up with everything.
Yeah, you got it takes more focus than just going song to song and writing single after single. Like you gotta maintain focus on what your goal is. You feel me? And so I think that's part of why we don't see it as much, because it is hard and they're not as fun. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's not the standard fun that you might have with music. You have to think about something. You're connecting dots. You're listening to stories. But some of the best music out there is very conceptual.
Yeah,
I can
that's a
agree.
fact. That's a fact. No, that's sick though.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah, no, that's a really, like, that's cool that you, like, took the time to do that. So how do you go about picking beats? Does he just send you something like, yo, I got this hot beat, or does he send you, like, a folder of them and you just
Probably a folder.
say, I want these?
Yeah, I'm a folder type of guy.
Yeah.
If somebody's sending me one beat, I almost don't want it.
Yeah.
Like it's like if you open a bag of chips and somebody's like, you can only have one. Like I'm not eating one chip. I think,
Yeah,
like
I
I
like
need
that.
the whole bag. You feel me? And I said this earlier, but if I'm listening to a pack of beats, I listen until I find the beat I want to write to, and then I don't listen to anything else until I wrote to that. And so working like that through 12 to 15 folder of beats, I'll usually, with the producers that I tend to work with, it'll be 6 to 8 out of a 12, 15 pack. So I'll get 6 to 8, maybe 10 tracks if I'm lucky per folder, written, which will translate to like 8 recorded.
Yeah.
You feel me? And go from there. Send the next folder. I'm fortunate to have like a really great network of producers that are just absolutely phenomenal. I can't speak highly enough about them because they're really where this shit starts. Like I wouldn't have if I had to go on BeatStars and purchase every single beat to make an album, y'all would not hear any Anthony Kannon albums.
Yeah, I know how that is.
I'm tired of going to YouTube, picking beats. I mean, they have some fire shit on YouTube, you feel me? But it's just so time consuming, and then you get flagged for copyrights and all that, which, to be honest, who the fuck cares? Because not many people are even making music to begin with, are making money off of music to begin with.
Exactly.
But just the amount of time it takes to go through beat after beat after beat, and then on the 100th one, you find one you actually like. I prefer to just have folks send me some shit. If I like it, I'll write to it. If I don't, then we'll on to the next. There's always gonna be another fire beat out there.
Hell yeah.
Always.
Oh yeah.
You still producing, Dezo?
Here and there, not as much lately, but yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get back to it.
Someone's a beast.
Use that piano I gave you.
Hey, it's coming in handy.
That's a good one.
Got
Yeah.
them weighted keys on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nah. What kind is it again?
It's a Yamaha.
Yeah, nah. This kid just brought it over to me one day. It was like, "You want this?" I was like,
Yeah, I'll take it.
I was like, I don't know how to use it, but
Man,
I know
let's see if the
somebody that
producer
does.
does.
I know somebody that does. So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
nah. Get back on the beats.
I definitely got to get at it a little more heavily than I have been, for sure.
Hey, man, we'll have time.
I've been focusing on my time on Twitch, man.
Well, shit. What you been streaming?
Mostly Bloodborne.
Throwing it back.
A little bit of Elden Ring here and there.
Yeah, son. I mean, I really want to get into Bloodborne.
It's a great game, bro.
Yeah, if it wasn't a PS exclusive, I'd have been on it.
That's
And you
why
know-
he doesn't play Breakpoint with me anymore.
I mean, I'm not as into the shooting games. I'm not gonna lie. It's all about the art.
I
all
stopped
about the-
playing all the Ghost Recon. Yeah, he stopped playing all the Ghost Recon games with me.
Plus, don't get me started on the co-op. Not that there's not co-op with that, but you know.
You don't even play Sniper Elite with me anymore.
The gameplay loop, we'll have to get back to it, you
Yeah.
know, for old time's sake. But just the gameplay loop that I'm into right now, just going up against something that you have to work to triumph
Just to beat,
over.
yeah.
The reward after it is just so
Rewarding.
large. Yeah, exactly. I feel it.
Yeah, that's dope.
Nah, I know what that's like to die 1,000 times at something and then finally overtake it. Like we've been playing a lot of Borderlands in the past and
Great games.
fucking raid bosses.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Oh my God! Then learning exactly what it takes to get one of them down in co-op, because they just you get hit once by one of their attacks, it's over for you and the squad.
That's a fact.
That's my version of an Elden Ring boss. Is a Borderlands raid boss.
It's pretty close, pretty accurate.
Completely different, obviously, but the health and overwhelming nature is
Still there. Yeah.
You remember when everybody was playing Mushroom Wars over at
Yeah,
over
I
at
can never really
Cannon's?
get into that.
Bro, this kid one time was playing on like the highest level, mad hard, and he had literally just gotten. We took him. We drank like a bunch of Everclear, and dude was like dead. He wouldn't even drink water. He like wouldn't take it from me because he was like, no, it's gonna make me sick. I was like, you don't have anything in your stomach to throw up, bro. And then he just comes back, picks up the controller. He has his hat down to here, and he's just. He was
Playing by
like
memory.
this close to losing,
Playing
and then
by
all of a
memory.
sudden he just wins. I'm just like, yo, bro, what?
That muscle memory.
Yeah, that muscle memory kicked in.
Hell yeah.
That was a warning sign to everybody to hang up the sticks.
That's a fact. That's a
Just
fact.
put them up.
That's a fact. So you think you got some like kind of muscle memory when you step in the booth at all?
Yeah, at this
Right.
point for sure. Especially when I'm recording with D Brown. Like when I get into his studio and I get behind that mic, it's like, oh, okay. I'm like plugged into the socket now.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready to go. I have muscle memory when I record anywhere, but other places can take a second to kick in.
Yeah.
But D Brown, we already got the templates ready. We already fired up. One test run to get my vocals good.
Yeah.
And we're good for 12 hours. You feel
That's
me?
dope.
Home away from home.
Exactly. It's a home away from home. He's just such a high energy, charismatic guy that he makes you feel very welcome the moment that you step in the booth. And he's also not a yes man. He'll be like,
He'll let you know.
yeah, positively. He'll be like, that wasn't it, guy. Let's do another one. Like,
At least he's nice about it.
exactly. But really, that muscle memory is important to form.
Yeah.
Because if you feel uncomfortable when you get into the booth, you're not going to be productive.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks, I'm the type of person, I write before going to the booth. So I'll go there with an agenda. Oh, I got 12 songs today. I got 15 songs. I got whatever I want to record today. It's already written. I've rehearsed it for the week prior. So I'm just getting in, and it's just a recording. A lot of folks go to the booth, and they're freestyling their songs. They're writing in the studio.
On
It's
studio
hard
time.
to...
Yeah, wasting mad studio.
Yeah,
I never understood that.
You're wasting studio time, but you're also not developing muscle memory. Like you're not practicing and chiseling those skills that are gonna get you better behind the mic. We were
Yeah.
talking about performing, how that's different than just writing or rapping.
Yep.
Recording is different than performing.
100%.
Recording is different than rapping for your homie. Like when you try to make a song sound really good and you're trying to get the best takes possible, it's important to feel comfortable behind that mic. It's important to develop that constant muscle memory, for lack of
Yeah.
a better word. That's real on that.
Nah, that's dope. It's nice that you have like a whole like. I mean, I feel like you got that like feng shui when you go in there. Like
Yeah.
with D Brown, you said particularly with D Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no question.
That's dope. Hopefully that carries over with Frost when you go to see him in person.
Oh, I'm sure it will, cause I mean every song that I've recorded at D Brown's to a Frost beat, Frost gets the stems and then he mixes and masters.
Okay.
You feel me? D Brown has mixed a lot of my music, but Frost Gamble and some other producers, they prefer to get the stems from him and handle the finished touches on
Yeah.
them. So Frost has very good grip of my sound because he's been working with it for forever. Never worked with him as a recording artist per se, or recording engineer, but I have confidence that we'll pick up right where we started.
Yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be super sick.
I can't
Especially
wait.
like you said, you're gonna go all the way to Winnipeg and everything.
Oh yeah,
Do that.
yeah. Get some fucking poutine.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You got to.
Hell yeah. The gravy cheese fries that nobody knows about.
Beaver tails.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You already know how cold it's gonna be when you're out there.
Nah, but I actually watched a video and I'm scared. It's supposed to be a brutal winter
Yeah.
and very snowy and freezing.
Go to a Winnipeg Jets game while you're out there.
A Winnipeg Jets game.
Yeah.
What the fuck is
They're a hockey
Hockey.
team. Yeah, it's an NHL team.
Sorry, Winnipeg. I did not know what the Jets
That's
were.
the, that's the
No
only
disrespect.
pro team they got, bro. I think. I don't know if there's like a Canadian minor league baseball or anything, but nah, they don't got nothing else but that hockey team,
Hey, hockey is everything to Canadians.
bro. Crazy.
No, we shall see. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll go to a Winnipeg Jets game. You never know.
That'd be dope.
Let's stay my ass inside. Let's be
sure.
going to the
Yeah.
landmarks. You feel me? It's gonna be geared up like I'm in Starfield
Oh.
out that bitch.
Yeah. Like 8 different coats. That's funny.
Yeah, it gets cold out there, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run one more track from the pre-download that I got. Let's Make It Rain. All right,
It's another great one.
let's run it.
Kannon.
You see, I can make it rain when I want to. You see, I can make it rain when I want to. You see, I can make it rain when I want to.
I can make it
You
rain.
build a castle from a single grain of sand.
Check it. I can make it rain and thunderstorm. When a king dies, another's born. Pain of a lost one, hate of a lover's scorn. Flash in a pan, make it smoother than buttercorn. Magic with the Dumbledore, butterfly doors on a whip that never existed. Execute plans since the moment I stepped in the district. All the success I never could picture. They capitulated, step on the rhythm. I was 7 when I stepped into prison. Several visits, never up, kept with an image. What's the plot? Get 'em dropped. That's a lesson in physics. This a cautionary tale of a kid who was selling and pitching. Had in the clouds, bed in the sky. Throwing 5 on a dime, getting high with the reddest of eyes. All the bullshit, set it aside. Cause one day you'll be dead while the rest are alive. Make it rain on them.
You see, I can make it rain when I want to. You see, I can make it rain when I want to. You see, I can make it rain when I want to. You build a castle from a single grain of sand.
I landed on my feet every time. Move back, I'm the cool cat the streets couldn't find. Wanna peep my demise. Thrive how that treats you inside. Heart beating, trying to keep you from dying. What's a sheep to a lion? I told you, weird when you trying to be a mogul. They keep asking for the old you. Visit my brother in Harlem, get some soul food. I keep in touch with my roots like I'm supposed to. The goal is to build a house, I think I got it figured out. So many nights that I slept, I would think about the things I could live without. Lost everything, couldn't sit and pout, I had to take a different route. I wanna be more self-sufficient and take better care of my body, cause you know health is wisdom. I don't need anybody else's help to get myself in the best position. Make a record finish.
You see, I can make it rain when I want to. Oh, you see, I can make it rain when I want to. Oh, you see, I can make it rain when I want to. Oh, I can build a castle from a single grain of sand. Yeah.
That beat's funky as hell.
Oh man, that sample goes.
That beat is
so
funky
crazy.
as hell, dude.
Make it rain.
Yeah.
And really excited for that joint. You know that it's you asked me what some of my favorite songs were off the album.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
When I first made this album, I didn't pick the songs on the album.
Yeah.
Me and Frost were just working. We were working, making song after song. We had about 30 joints in a folder. He was like, yo, you mind if I send this to a label that I have previously worked with, see if they want to take a single or something?
Yeah.
Sends it to him. I told him it's all good. Just let me know what they say. They were like, I want these 12 songs. You pick the name, you sequence it, you do whatever. If you are interested in that, we'll mock up a contract. So
yeah.
we had full creative control once we had the 12 songs that they wanted to put on an album. But they had chosen 12 from the 30 plus that we had created. Make It Rain was one of those that I was really excited that they picked. Because I would not anticipate this being an ear grabber, I guess, but it's a song that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
It's a song that I think is very, I used this word earlier, methodical. Top to bottom, it sounds like a story. From start to finish, it is a story. It's exactly what I'm talking about. The sample, the way it leads into the beat, I could listen to that beat by itself on a loop all day.
It's
You know what I
super
mean?
funky.
I think it's Al Green on that sample. It's, I don't know, just classic record shit, golden era sound coming from Frost as usual.
Hell yeah. So all those tracks that we played were from Cautionary Tales, and it's out when? October 20th?
October 20th, it's my dad's birthday. And it's actually really ironic because the label picked that date.
Oh, wow.
They
That's-
didn't even know.
that's sick.
And so when they told me that was their ideal release date, I hit my pops up. He almost cried.
It's a sign.
He was like, this is like the way that this is lining up. There's too many things connecting. Like I don't.
Yeah. Nah, it's going to work out and be big.
I mean, this is the biggest thing that I've ever done musically, regardless on if the numbers attest to that once it releases. Like it's a very big move on my part. Like I did not anticipate something like this.
Yeah.
It's not something that is going to make me famous. It's not going to make me rich. It's not going to change my life immediately. But this is going to get me indoors that I would
could
not
be the
have
stepping
done.
stone, yeah.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's a stepping stone. It's a learning experience. Learning how to handle business as your own representation. Like I don't have a manager. I don't have an agent. I'm the one negotiating. I'm the one communicating directly with the label.
Hell yeah.
Having to make decisions. Having to put stuff into production. Like I'm the one making orders for the vinyl. Like I have to do this shit by myself. And it's not something that I'm complaining about. Something that I take pride in.
Yeah, no,
it would be
awesome.
it would be a quicker experience that would go by smoother if I had somebody else
Yeah,
to
if you
help.
just delegated it.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
but
be the same, though.
It wouldn't be the same.
No.
And I want to be able to give that game to folks as I give it, as I get it myself. I want to be able to use it to make shit easier for me moving forward. I was on your Instagram page yesterday. And I saw you post a photo. I was digging in the crates, dog. I saw the Donald passing. It's all about the music business book. That she was like, I
Yeah.
can't put that down. My pops got that for me a couple years ago. He was
Yeah.
like, yo, you need this book. Like, if from all accounts, this book has everything you'll ever need to be successful.
Yeah,
in
it
the music.
does.
I started reading it when he gave it to me a couple years ago. But I picked it back up recently, started again from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm rereading this shit right now. And wow, there's just so many gems in it. You feel
Yeah.
me? And it's not just like an encyclopedia. It's not just like you're reading textbooks. It's very personable.
Yeah.
It's very digestible. It's a great book out there. Recommendation for anybody. I see that you was already on it yourself.
Cavelli got that for me actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out
Gave it
Cavelli.
to
He
me.
has your best interest in
That's a
heart
fact.
if he got you that book.
That's a fact. I have I wrote a bunch of notes all over the pages, so I might have to get a fresh copy. You know what I mean?
One of the first things, in the book that they tell you to do is like a page 5 or some shit. He's like, do not treat this like it's a prized possession. You need to grab your pen, your Sharpie, your notebook, your Post-it notes.
I got that highlighted.
And take notes of everything we said. Said skip to whatever chapter that you think is gonna help you right now. You don't have to read it front to back. It's very encapsulating and could help anybody, no matter what you're doing in the music industry.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah, no, I
Doing
saw
some
it.
homework.
Yeah. I wanted to bring it up. I almost forgot before the end of this shit.
Oh, yeah. I think he got that for me like 2-3 years ago, and he was like,
Right before the pandemic is
he
when it
was
came
like,
out.
you need to read this. He goes, because I guess one of the earlier editions is what Chance the Rapper's manager actually read, because he didn't know anything about the music industry.
It's like the 11th or
And he
12th
just kinda-
edition.
Yeah, and he just kind of like, he read that book, and he was like, really eye-opening for him, and he just took it and ran, and now Chance is Chance.
And now Chance is Chance.
You know?
I mean, it's crazy because this is like the one that we're specifically talking about. I can't remember if it's the 11th, 12th edition.
Yeah, I think
of
it's the
book.
12th.
And he's done so many different versions of it throughout different eras of the music industry.
Yeah,
and
as it's
periods.
changed,
keeping up
And
with
this
time.
previous one really goes in depth on the streaming
Streaming,
era
I was gonna
specifically.
say, because they hadn't really addressed that in the
Yeah,
previous
exactly.
ones.
I mean, the whole landscape of the music industry has changed so drastically in the past couple of years,
That's a
and it's going
fact.
to continue to. The developments of TikTok. I mean, you seeing people's favorite artists canceling tours right now because they getting platinum plaques and #1 Billboard hits, but can't sell out a venue.
Yeah.
crazy.
It's a crazy world we live in right now. It's fast food entertainment, and there's a lot of good shit out there, but it's leading to real life consequences.
I like
for,
how you worded
for artists.
that. Fast food entertainment. That's one that's one to put away.
In the archive.
Yeah,
Save it for later.
that's a fact. Nah, that's definitely, that's probably one of the most eye-opening books that I've ever read. And just the way that it puts everything into perspective. Like, for you, where you're at. Like, it's not like, all right, you already have 30,000 fans, you already have all this, that. It's like square one,
Yeah.
and can build you up from that.
Yeah, I mean it's good to go into it with a base knowledge, but if you don't, you'll still be able to pick up everything the book has to give
Exactly.
you. Like they do get really in depth. They do say some shit that doesn't apply to me. Like
Yeah.
it won't impact my life immediately right now. It's just getting stored in the back of my mind somewhere. But I'm sure in the future, one day if this shit goes how I plan, I'll be able to pull it right from that filing cabinet back there whenever it's necessary.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, that's dope. Did the homework.
Oh yeah.
But so we've been going for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yo, glad you came though.
Yes, thank you.
Man, it's a blessing.
yeah.
This shit been in the works for a couple months now.
Yeah.
I'm glad that y'all reached out. Big fan of the platform. I
Glad
really
you
respect
came.
what y'all is doing. Y'all, we need more platforms like this out here. You guys give artists a voice. You guys have a voice yourself. And then the talented curators that you are, opening the doors for people like me means a lot. So I'm happy to
Yeah.
be here.
Thank you.
And I mean, that's the whole point of what we've been trying to do. You know what I mean? It's because I mean, I've noticed around, especially in Binghamton, it's like really heavy crabs in a bucket mentality, and I can see that some of that's starting to fade away. And it's like you might need somebody to just push it and knock the whole thing over and break it down.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've heard consistently about this area as well as many others in upstate. I think that the
Yeah.
stigmas around it, artists are just realizing that we all need to work with each other in order to get some type of success out here.
That's a
and
fact.
do it from a genuine place. Don't work with somebody just because you're gonna get some success out of it,
Right.
but realize that it probably will lead to more than you had before.
Exactly.
You feel me? We just did a big cipher in Syracuse last weekend, and there was about 60 to 75 artists out there.
Yeah, I saw that video of you.
Albany, Binghamton, Syracuse, the New York City, Ithaca, Utica, Rome, Troy. Like there were so many different artists from different places there to support. And it's the first time, besides for like that team backpack experience that I had, where I saw here people were basically community organizing to get a hip hop oriented event, give rappers a platform just to get their shit off. I think it was a great networking opportunity.
Yeah.
Folks were passing out business cards. People were getting acclimated with each other. The more that stuff like that, the more like stuff like this happens, the more open and connected we'll be as a community, the easier it'll be for somebody to break through. That's just simple.
fact.
That's simple math.
Well put.
That's a fact. So, all right, y'all. You have a good day, y'all. And yo,
Peace.
appreciate you for coming, bro.
Of course.
Definitely appreciate you for coming.
Thank you.
Like you said, it's been a while in the making.
Yeah.
Definitely enjoyed this episode.
Hell yeah.
Hey, it's a great
You
comment.
know, you dropped a lot of gems.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.